So this is our driving video here in Omapad, Mandaue City. We are now driving along in Plaridel Street. We're here right now driving through Plaridel Street, Mandaue City, and you can see that these are the establishments that you can see around here. And this is part of Barangay Alang-Alang, Mandaue City. This is gonna take you to Paknaan, and then we'll connect you to the somewhere in Consolacion, and also will connect you to Liluan. So if you don't want to go on the main highway in Mandaue City, you could always opt for this road. You can see on the right side, that's Sakura Trading, which is like a multi-cab center as well. Auto supplies and trading. And most people, when they go on the north, they go on the main highway. But if you are also avoiding the traffic on the main highway, because usually it's clogged up there, you can opt for the Plaridel Street in Alang-Alang, Mandaue. So where are you gonna go? Go! So I don't wonder where this car is going. I just turn it off and I can put on the charging thing. So we're continuing on driving along here in Alang-Alang, Mandaue City, Plaridel Street, and you can see on the right side, that's when you turn towards Mactan Bridge 2, and on the left side, which you are not allowed to turn, is going to the main highway near the Pacific Mall. So this is not a very common thing among vloggers, because this is not the way that they usually take you for a ride, since it's like in the back roads of Mandaue City. But around here, you'll see the factory of Eurotex is here, right there on the right side. There's a lot of factories around here. And this little bridge that we have to go through, and that's the Eurotex main showroom there for foams. There's the MDC concrete mixing facilities. Now we are on this, you're living Barangay Paknaan. So that was Barangay Paknaan. So there's a lot of houses around here. It's densely populated, but you can expect it, because when there's factories in a place, we are still actually on Plaridel Street, but we are now around Barangay Paknaan, not Barangay Alang-Alang. It's very hot, so I need to put on the aircon a little bit. We are now in our summer months here in the Philippines, so it's our hottest months coming: April, May, June. Then start July, you'll have all the typhoon season coming, you know, we will be all aware, be worried again. So behind all this, I know somebody here living before, that their house is on the back of those urban settlers somewhere here. It's quite a lot of people living around, because there's so many industries that they could find a job. Chuanking, look, metal manufacturing. So, and also one thing that signifies is a lot of urban settlers is the food eatery places. when there's a lot of that, there might be somewhere that they're catering that for. So in here, in this case, in Paknaan, is mostly Mandaue, the factories. Look, another big factory there. I don't know what's the name. Trucks and Equipment Repair Corporation, and that's the Cebu Institute of Medicine. So that is a medical school, and all the shops, small shops around here. It's still Plaridel Street, Paknaan, Mandaue City. So they got their little market on the side, both side of the roads. On what is that? This looks like a factory itself. There, at the green gate, but there's no name. There's this bridge for Paknaan. Highway bridge. I would like to go on that side. I'll just go and signal that I'm going on that side. But if you do, the motorcycle will go fast. So they want to beat you up. See? They're very slow when I do the signal. They want to go fast. So this is the highway bridge here in Paknaan, Mandaue. Barangay Cansaga Bay. This is Cansaga Bay. Wow. It's quite a nice place. Cansaga Bay and Highway Bridge. So you can see all the marine vehicles there, ships and boats and little crafts are docking. Alright. Ooh, that's interesting to see there, all the docking boats. Wonder if we were allowed to go there. See if we can. There. I'll just try to see.
We're here. Better be here.
So we're continuing on our trip here in Cansaga area of Mandaue. We are now entering Consolacion via this highway. So this area here in Consolacion is called Tayud. Now you can see there's Tayud Lodge in the right side, and all the factories, all the facilities here that creates a lot of employment for my brothers and sister that lives around here. Then you can see that the roads are not really favorable, so not so well paved yet. So this is a family hardware and construction supplies, just newly opened. You can still see the ribbon cutting was just been done recently. Now here, so they are still doing the roads. So after the bridge of Cansaga, the roads are not so paved, but hopefully it will improve. Then around here, what's this? FIDA Construction Supply, but it's closed. Building Materials Highway. So if you're wondering, if you're not familiar with Cebu City, Cebu Consolacion, this is the Tayud Consolacion. It's easier to access Tayud, not from the main highway, but here on the back of Mandaue, Alang-alang to Paknaan, and then Cansaga. Then it connects you here quickly to Tayud Consolacion. And in Tayud Consolacion, that's where you find the Jordan seafood whatever, seafood and restaurant. Seafood restaurant where you buy it fresh and you have it cooked. So from the end of this road, there's a crossing and you go on the left side. That will take you to Jordan Seafood Restaurant. There's the Resource Logistic. One Resource Logistic, sorry. Land for rent. And another factory there. So a lot of eating places. So means that's they're catering for a few of the factory workers around here. Because actually some of the sellers of food said that even the actual workers in the factory are not allowed to just mix with them. They have to send all the... So here there's air liquid and apartments. So this area here in Tayud, Consolacion, it's still developing. Roads have still been improved. So but there's a lot of enterprises, factories, and what's this? Like storage spaces. That's the Poor Clare Monastery in Tayud. So we'll have a look there, because I also had a few people asking me where they can find the Poor Clare Monastery, especially if they are the religious people who wants to visit this area. So there's the sign, Poor Clare. So if you go on the right, that's Poor Clare. Go on the left, this is the crossing that I'm talking about. That's going to take you to Tayud, Consolacion, where Jordan is. So this is the Poor Clare. This is Binabag Road, Tayud, Consolacion.
Head northeast, then turn right onto East Binabag.
Binabag.
Continue straight onto Bahaba Street.
Bahaba Street. So Poor Clare Monastery, where you can also ask the nuns to pray for your penitentiation, for your problems, your penitentiation for granting. That's the Tayud Lodge there in Bagakay, Tayud, Consolacion. So like I said, the roads are not so well paved, so you have to slow down. So many holes on the road. So this is, you can see there's Purok Bumbil. Don't go there. This is the Poor Clare area. So puppy crossing, I will wait because I don't like my puppies to be hurt. So as other puppies, I love all dogs. What is this? Dayon Kamo. Oh, a barbecue place. So there's another factory here, Givatech Corporation. Phoenix Petroleum Philippines is also here. Consolacion Terminal. Phoenix there. There's a big one there. petroleum. Then continue on to Bahaba Street.
In 600 meters, your destination will be on the right.
Right. Okay, Siri. Thank you, girl. Now, it's welcome to Bahaba, Purok 1 Daisy. So, continuing on to Bahaba Road. They're oblivious to traffic. So this is the Poor Clare Monastery. This is the private property of the Mission Society of the Philippines. There's the Poor Clare. Some children's on our back trying to raise us up. Poor Clare Monastery Seminary. Road is bad. Gotta have to timing it that I don't dip on those holes here on the side. Just slow down. Some of you are not familiar with this place anymore, even if you're coming from Consolacion, because the one that's asking me where is Consolacion, Poor Clare's, actually the family just moved to Consolacion. So there is the Mission Society of the Philippine office. It's a retreat house. And this is the Poor Clare Monastery. So this is the crossing of the Tayud Consolacion that will take you to SM Consolacion. So from there, on the right side, because if you're following the highway from Cansaga Bay, you have a crossing here, right and left. The left is where you go to passing by Jordan restaurant and then exit to SM. On the right side will take you to the Poor Clare Monastery. So this is the place where the crossing is, still in Tayud Consolacion. That will take you to Jordan restaurant, and out of here you'll be following the highway, the main highway going north, the Trans-Nautical Highway. Didn't you remember this is the way to Jordan? Yeah, very sunset is expensive. So there's a Travelers Inn there, further there. So because I think it's the seaside, this will be there. Because I passed this once, and most of the time I could remember when I passed a place once, because that's the thing, that one. Then we go further. Temyong's fresh talaba and seafood there. Some of the commercial centers here are closed. I won't be surprised because, you know, Even the one in the main streets of the city is closed. How about here? It is quite remote. What is this? Redwood subdivision. Just townhouses facing each other. That's the Talaba. Barangay Tayud, Consolacion. Remember?
Yeah,
that's the
the
Talaba.
Jordan.
The Cold Jordan is there. That's their.
Also,
That's where the shed that you can rent. And there's another one there. Is that Cold Jordan still? Look like that shed.
I think yeah, it's still Jordan.
But we will not be stopping there today. We are continuing on our drive. That's cool. Will take us to SM Consolacion. So you can see a lot of, it's low tide today this hour, so you can see where the water is, the area of water. And so there are people that lives on the side of the road or the river. Look at all the talaba cages. I mean oyster cages rather. Sorry for the dialect, but yeah, that's the oyster cages here. So still around Tayud, Consolacion, where they're famous for their fresh oysters. And that's where all the fishermen for the oysters selling it there by the kilos. Look at the talaba. Let's have a look. So we're continuing on our trip here in Tayud, Consolacion. That's the Consolacion Community College. Back there is the police training center. So around this area, this is monitored by the PNPs because the training center is around this area. That's another school building, but they have to cross over a lake or a river coming from the water of the sea that's facing the side of Consolacion shorelines. So this is Tayud. They got a nice pathway, have you noticed?
Yeah.
So like the communities have bridges to go to their purok or sitio. And that's another eatery there. So Consolacion is known for their talaba oysters in English. Bridge, another bridge there to another community purok. There, Tosloboa Unlimited. Dito. That's the Dito Tower. There. It's only one person that can cross that bridge. One here is already dilapidated bridge and it's dangerous. I bet some of the people still pass through that one. Shocking. It's only made of bamboo and I'm scared to cross that. Although it's not really that deep down there, but you know what I mean. So driving still around Consolacion. There's a cement factory there. There's a aluminum glass factory maker there. Merle's Bake Shop is improving their house so big. I mean, for the place that compared to the community that he is located, it's so big. Now you can see up ahead SM City Consolacion. We are now going through the main road. Then we go to Talamban. Then we can buy all my order from my family for dinner, so save me from quickly cooking because I'll be rushed with traffic. So I'm quite thankful that Old Beast allowing me to get do my channel, so satisfy my wandering lust. I like going out. Nah, I'm an extrovert, he is an introvert. No left turn, so I'll have to go right turn. All traffic right turn only. Fine, okay, because there's no more left turn. So we are now here in SM Consolacion. Let me go first. So this is the worst traffic area here in Consolacion, in front of SM. Because what's the problem? They have an overpass and they won't let the people use it. They'll right across the road and it's assisted by the traffic police. The traffic police itself will stop you because there are people that's crossing. Instead of telling the people to go up and go on the underpass so the traffic can continue. See what I mean? Look at the barangay traffic police stopping people. But in here, it's excusable because there's no overpass. But in places, I will tell you, when you go around Consolacion, there's an overpass, especially where their municipal hall is. But people will still cross underneath that overpass. And it will be assisted by the barangay traffic police. So this is the worst area for traffic, is now Consolacion if you're going to the north. After that, Liluan is not so bad, and you will be going on and on and on. So that will be easier to drive if you pass Consolacion. So we're looking for the turning. The turning, we're still in Consolacion. You see at the end of the boundary of Liluan. So continuing on. You got all the fruit vendors there. It's still part of Consolacion. And now I could see cars trying to turn on the left, so must be the U-turn slot. U-turn slot, turn around to go back to the cities. So there goes our trip around Consolacion, from Alang-Alang Mandaue to Tayud Consolacion.